Alright, so I'm working my way back. Whoa, did you hear that?
So we just got shot at.
Got our first knock.
First knock.
5 o'clock.
Johnny and Danny had planned a simple hiking trip, finishing off with a quiet night of camping. They had the perfect spot in mind, or so they thought. When they arrived, the parking space they were aiming for was already taken by a lone vehicle.
Oh, Lord.
See, now it's not even bad. Now it's pretty decent.
Oh, there we go.
There's somebody down here already.
Uh-oh.
That's kind of spooky.
It's spooky. What are we gonna do?
Well, he's parked exactly where we need to be. Of all places.
Dig.
I'm gonna find another spot.
It was odd, especially since this wasn't a popular area. Still, they pressed on, unaware that this decision would soon have them calling the police. Using maps on their phone, they followed an overgrown trail deep into the wilderness to find their ideal camping spot.
Yeah, we're on the trail. God. But yeah, we're going the right way.
I'm getting stuck.
Look at that. This is ridiculous.
It's up past our head, too.
After bushwhacking a little bit, we found the trail, which doesn't look like much of a trail, but that's it. There's a spot that we're heading to. It's
Hopefully it's clear.
essentially it's in the middle of the woods, and it's a good.
Watch those people from back there be camping where we're gonna be going.
But anyway, the spot is about almost 2 miles from where we parked the truck. Great.
What?
This is what we're dealing with.
But their peaceful hike was shattered when the sound of gunshots suddenly rang out. 2 shots, one flying just overhead. Johnny immediately shouted out to let whoever was there know they were leaving, but there was no response.
Can you hear me? We're heading back the other way. Grab your bag. We're trying to find the trail. We're heading back the other direction. Hurry.
Oh, I'm trying.
Panic set in. They picked up the pace, pushing their way through the dense forest, desperate to get back to their car. Fear surrounded them, and so did the questions. Was it the man from the truck? Was someone out there watching them?
That was a 22. It went right over our heads. So we just got shot at.
There.
So we just got shot at. We were, and I just stopped recording, but there is somebody deep in the woods that direction. Shot what sounded like a 22. Hit a tree about 2 feet away from us. And we were finding a spot to set up, and we had just set our bags down. I set the camera down after I stopped recording, and a bullet, 22, whizzed right above our heads into the tree that we were standing next to. And so I yelled out to him, whoever it was, got no response. Yelled out several more times, got one response, no idea what he said. I wonder if it's that fucking truck.
Then something made Danny freeze. She stopped and immediately dialed the police. They managed to get through and were told officers would be sent to the area. But given the remote location, help couldn't reach them directly. So they made their way out carefully, staying off trail and on edge, until finally reaching their car.
What?
I think that was a rage. Oh my god. My name's Danielle Hogan, but the person you'll be calling is Johnny Hayes. Okay. She's having people come out here.
Like on foot or what?
I don't know. Well, she said with us she's gonna have people come out here.
Okay, so yeah, just let them know that we're gonna go ahead and keep heading north just a little bit on the trail. Then we're gonna intersect what looks like somebody's driveway because it's the clearest way to get to the clearing, it looks like. But as soon as we get to that point, we will be on somebody's property. So, but that's, I mean, I don't really want to go through the we're too far out for anybody to meet us, so we're having to track back through the woods and make our way over to an access road. Oh, we have to go through all this crap.
To their relief, police were already waiting. One officer explained that hunting season had just begun and advised them to avoid the area at certain times. They took statements and said they'd try to make contact with the other person, but Johnny and Danny never found out who was out there.
As far as like hunting season goes, there's a whole bunch of stuff that just opened up yesterday.
Yeah.
And this whole area, the whole trail area,
Yeah.
it's you can hunt on it
Okay.
and stuff. I grew up in Pennsylvania. Our hunting season starts a lot earlier out there, and general rule of thumb is we don't really go into the woods after the 15th of September because that's when everything opens up, and
Gotcha.
you got to deal with the cityots and you got to deal with the people from Jersey.
We had just stopped, and all of a sudden we had one round go right past us, maybe 10 feet,
Okay.
and then another one right above our head, and literally like 2 feet above our head into the tree, and it just sounded like a 22.
I'll go down. I'm gonna see if I can make contact with someone. I saw a blue truck down in one of the
Yeah, I
areas
seen the
down
blue
there.
truck. Is the white pickup truck your guys'?
Right here.
Okay.
Out in the middle of the woods, they were being shot at. And as any experienced hunter knows, there's no mistaking two people for game. They were lucky to make it out alive. Brian and Emily travel the world in their van, joined by their dog, documenting every leg of their journey. In this video, they headed out into the forests of Canada, completely unaware of what was waiting for them. Their first night went smoothly. They camped beside a stream, played with their dog, and took in the serenity around them. The next day, they ran errands, then set off for a new location, another scenic spot surrounded by trees. But this time, the atmosphere felt different.
Well, I was gonna go chop some wood and start a fire. Now I'm gonna wait till this hail passes. Hail no! We're almost all cleaned up. Can you believe it? It's almost 9 o'clock at night. It's still super bright out. We're gonna call it a night. Good night.
As darkness fell and hail began to batter their van, the peaceful silence turned into tension. Then around 5 a.m., a knock at the van.
got our first knock.
First knock.
5 o'clock. Why? What did he want?
You wanted to know what time it was?
Why?
Hey, I don't know if that's really what he wanted, but that's all he's gonna get.
What does he want? It's only 5:30 in the morning.
I don't think he really knows what's going on. He looks a little lost. There's a tent over here now that wasn't here when we went to bed. He just looks really confused.
A man was outside, asking for the time. But something didn't sit right. He kept circling their van, acting confused. What was even more unsettling was the nearby tent they swore wasn't there the night before. Emily felt uneasy, and Brian kept a close eye until the man eventually walked off. They packed up and left the area immediately.
I think maybe he just had a really long night. First time he came by, he said he didn't have his phone. He asked what time it was. He's walking around looking for something. I think he's in this tent over here. He's just kind of moving stuff around, and I'm not that worried about it. Emily is, though.
It's just odd. He knocked on our door at 5 o'clock just to ask what time it was. That's strange.
Not saying he doesn't have other intentions, but watching him, he does look very lost and confused about what's going on, and maybe he really did lose his phone.
We're not at camp anymore. We continued to head down the highway towards the next recommendation that ChatGPT has for us, but we'll get to that in just a second. First, we want to talk about where we are and what happened this morning and why it made us so on edge. Where we are is a stretch of highway from Prince George to Prince Rupert that is also known as the Yellowhead Highway or the Highway of Tears. And the way that it got the name Highway of Tears is pretty dark, unfortunately, as you can probably guess by the name. But when the highway was constructed in 1970, since then, over 80 women, they estimate, have either gone missing or have been murdered along this highway. And unfortunately, a lot of those are completely unsolved.
Later, they expressed how they were parked near a stretch of road known as the Highway of Tears, a place where over 80 women have gone missing, most cases still unsolved.
The highway is extremely remote. There's long stretches between communities. A lot of people hitchhike to get from community to community, and there's also not a lot of cell reception in the area. So, given all of that and knowing about the history of crimes in the area, when we got a knock at 5 o'clock in the morning in this area, it put me on edge.
Maybe the man was harmless. Maybe he just needed a place to sleep. But at 5 a.m., in a remote forest, even an innocent knock can feel like a threat. Aja documents her solo travels across the country in her van, embracing the freedom of van life. But in this video, that freedom came with a reminder of how vulnerable life on the road can be. While running errands one morning, she passed a McDonald's and accidentally made eye contact with a man in a car pulling out of the drive-thru. At first, it seemed like nothing, until she realized he was now following her.
I like to keep it real on this channel, and I don't know what just happened, but basically I just pulled into this spot. I love it, and as I pull up to this spot, I pass by a McDonald's. It's like, I don't know, a mile away from this spot is a McDonald's, or like 2 miles. As I'm driving by the McDonald's, I like made eye contact with somebody who was pulling out of the McDonald's. I didn't mean to, but I guess I did, and I saw him just like make eye contact with me and zoom behind me and follow me, and he followed me all the way up here. And this spot, there's like it's like hard to describe. Maybe I can, oh yeah, you can kind of see it. Okay, so over there, it's like a dead end kind of thing, like with a gate, and that's where I go up there and I turn around there so that I can park here. That's what I do every single time. And nobody else does that. And I do that. And he even follows me up there and around. And right now I parked and I saw him pull up to spec. And then he just was staring at me and I wasn't making eye contact. And then he just zoomed off. So I don't know what that was all about. It's obviously super creepy and I hated every second of it.
She continued driving to her planned destination, a scenic coastal car park, but couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Eventually, he disappeared, and Aja tried to settle in, hoping the strange encounter was over. But later, as she was cooking and going about her day, the same car returned. This time, the man parked directly in front of her van and remained inside.
As I started cooking breakfast, I just kept thinking about the guy in the blue car and really hoping he wouldn't come back. So I just focused on making my delicious breakfast sandwich. And of course, I cracked my side window for some ventilation since I was using the stove in my van. So something I noticed as I'm cooking is the creepy guy in the blue car is back. So that sucks. I hope that it's nothing and that I'm just being really sensitive, but I feel like it's something. But this is the reality sometimes for me. And just people on the road, you're a lot more vulnerable, I guess. I don't know how else to put it, but I just get a bad vibe, man. And I was so looking forward to spending my day out here. And I think I still will. Like, I'm not gonna let this totally affect me, but I'm just gonna have to keep my wits about me, I think. And I also think I have to close my curtain now, which I didn't want to do because I like hanging out with, you know, windows, doors, curtains open. But he could be just like sitting there staring at me in his like rearview mirror for all I know. I don't know, but...
Aja closed her curtains and tried to stay calm, but the tension was impossible to ignore. She pushed aside the unease and continued with her day, focusing on decorating the front of her van. But then, without warning, the man stepped out of his car. He stared directly at her, slowly circled his vehicle, and got back in, never saying a word. He didn't need to. His presence alone made it chillingly clear.
And as I started rifling through my bag of stickers, I noticed the guy in the blue car who I've been talking about this whole time get out and just stare at me. He walked around the car and all of that, and it totally unnerved me. And then before I know it, I see him just drive off. So I just watched that guy who I've been talking about this whole time in the blue car. I swear to God, he's been just sitting in... It turns out it was just one guy, not two guys. But like the whole time that I was making breakfast, doing my nails, all of that, I was like checking and just monitoring him and seeing what he was doing. And he never got out once. He always sat in the car and he always had his hand up. I swear to God, he had like, he was filming me or something. I'm not sure. It was so weird. I don't know. Who freaking knows? And I kept telling myself like, it's probably nothing. It's probably nothing. But again, the gut feeling. And anyways, the entire time I'm making breakfast, chilling in the van, he was in his car. And then right now, when I got out and went to the back to get my stickers, I came back and I've been sitting in the cab for like a couple minutes. And right after I filmed that clip of me saying like what I'm gonna do with the stickers and all of that, I shut my camera off and I looked up and I saw him like open his door, and he had been in the passenger seat, which I had seen already. That's why I thought there were two people, because I noticed somebody in the passenger seat like an hour ago. Anyways, I see him right now get out of the passenger seat and walk around his car to the driver's seat. And as he was walking around the car, he's just staring at me the entire time, staring at me. He gets in the driver's seat, turns the car on and drives away. And it's just so weird that like he tailgates me in here, follows me, gives me a heavy like crazy look as he's following me, tailing me, drives by me, and I thought he goes away. Then like as I told you, he came back and he just sat in his car and he didn't leave until I got out, and like he saw me get out, because I had not gotten out of my van at all until right now when I got the stickers. And of course, now that he's seen me get out and like seen me outside of the van, that's when he leaves.
Aja had been targeted. Though nothing more came of the incident, it was enough to remind Aja and her viewers just how unsettling and unpredictable life on the road can be. Keith's hobby is a unique one: metal detecting. He enjoys wandering through forests and remote trails, searching for lost items. But on this solo trip, deep into the Alaskan woods, he uncovered something that wasn't meant to be found.
Oh, hey guys, Keithy6 here, metal detecting in Alaska. I'm back out this evening to that same mining spot that I was at last time where I found the pick. So I have about an hour and a half before dark. So let's see what we can find in that time. I brought my Bounty Hunter Time Ranger Pro and my little probe. So we'll walk around and see what we can find. Well, I decided to stop by this hole on the way through and probed around a little bit, and I hit some glass. And I found a broken cork top and a real small broken cork top. And I just got lucky, and, or is it? I just hit what looks like a glass stopper.
He arrived about an hour and a half before dusk, metal detector in hand, pacing slowly through the trees. The woods were quiet, peaceful even. Just the soft chirping of birds and the crunch of twigs beneath his boots. Then the peace broke. A deep, unexplainable howl echoed through the trees.
Well, it's getting dark on me. Down to my last target. Looks like a little wood, or... What's that? Whoa, did you guys hear that? It sounded like something howling. Still hear it. Sweet little box. Boy, that freaked me out.
He paused, listening. It was strange, but not impossible. Maybe a wolf, or something else. He tried to ignore it and began heading back. But then something splashed. Loud. Close.
Alright, so I'm working my way back. Whoa, did you hear that? Oh man, something just threw something in the water right beside me.
Something had been thrown into the water nearby. Now holding his weapon just in case, Keith scanned the area. The howling returned, louder, more intense. It didn't sound like any animal he'd heard before, and it didn't stop.
Oh, jeez. Alright, guys, let's get out of here. I just threw something else in the water just now. Alright, I'm finally getting close to the road. Whew, that scared the crap out of me. Let's get back to the house and get ready for the roundup.
He made it back safely. But that sound, whatever it was, still haunts him long after that day. For Snow and Kurt, van life has been a dream come true. 4 years on the road with their 2 cats, chasing sunsets and freedom. But one night reminded them just how quickly that dream can become a nightmare. They pulled into a well-lit parking area, ready to rest for the night. Everything felt normal until 10 p.m. A loud bang shattered the silence, then another. They sprang up, heart racing.
All right, guys.
No doubt about it, our scariest moment in the van. The voice is shaking. It's taken us a minute to get the camera. Oh, you all right, Kurt?
Yeah.
Middle of the night. I don't even know what time it is. It's
not that late.
It's only 10 o'clock. I don't know if y'all can see it, but we just woke up to someone banging on the window. Our 3M security film worked, but our window is shattered. We need to duct tape this. We'll be back in a minute. Definitely our scariest moment in the van.
Someone was pounding on their van. Then they saw it. The window had been smashed, shattered glass shining in the dim light. Someone had tried to break in. They didn't wait to find out more. Shaken, they turned on the van and drove until they found a safer spot.
Guys, just to let you know, we felt incredibly safe parked where we're at. I mean, it's 10 minutes later and a whole family with little kids and stuff just walked by. You never know where this will happen, I guess, but we were not parked in a area that felt sketchy.
All safe, but
yeah,
it's a big city. It's a smash and grab. They were trying to smash in and break what we had, or steal what we had, and that's all. It could happen anywhere in the world. It just happened to us.
Right here.
Here.
We're gonna go drive and try to find a paid parking lot that we can maybe get into.
Someplace.
There's nothing on iOverlander. There's not much options showing up on the Google. It's kind of where we ended up where we were. But we don't feel like this is somewhere we should stay.
The next morning, when daylight returned, the damage was still there, and the fear still fresh. No one was hurt. No further harm was done. But something had changed. Van life is full of freedom. But that night, Snow and Kurt learned that even the safest feeling places can hold shadows. And some sounds stay with you forever. Luke is no stranger to the outdoors. His channel is all about camping and survival. But this trip, this one, stuck with him. After a long hike, Luke found a clearing, set up camp, and settled in with some coffee by the fire. Rain tapped gently on the tarp. Then the woods began to shift. He started hearing heavy footsteps, something large, breaking sticks as it moved through the darkness.
I could have swore I heard something walking through the woods. Something big enough to break branches and whatnot. There are black bear up here, but that would be highly irregular for them to come this close to camp. I definitely heard something though. I just don't know what.
He scanned the woods with his flashlight, but nothing. Assuming it was just wildlife, he pushed on. Later that night, Luke was jolted awake. A loud crash, like a tree falling nearby. But there was no wind, no storm, just steady rain.
It is update time, everyone. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. It's been raining all night long since roughly 11 p.m. It's a good solid rain. Nothing heavy, nothing crazy, no thunderstorms. And now that I'm thinking about it, no wind either. It's quite calm. The reason why I'm up right now, I heard something. I'm not sure what it was. It was loud. A crashing sound maybe, a tree coming down, I'm not sure. I was dreaming pretty heavy and just kind of was startled awake. Something over here. I'm not sure. But I don't hear anything now. But at the same time, it's so loud, I really can't hear anything anyways. I'm gonna go back to bed. I have my alarm set for 5:30. I will see you all then.
Morning came, and as he packed up, he spotted something that sent a chill down his spine. A massive tree, snapped and lying across his path.
This was not here yesterday. I'm so confused, everybody. This is a large tree. You can see here that the root base has been snapped off. But the question that I have is, where did it come from? It didn't come out of the ground right here or anywhere around here. This is perplexing. Okay. I'm just not sure what to think or what to say. This is without a doubt unusual. I don't know. What I do know is that this was not here yesterday when we made our way through the forest. Interesting, everyone. Very interesting. One person could technically move it, you know, just by dragging it around, but that'd be a ton of work. And it would be difficult to do in a forest like this.
But it hadn't been there before. He would have passed it on his hike in. The tree didn't fall from anywhere nearby, and there were no signs of damage around. Something, or someone, had placed it there. But how and why?